We are back for another fun week of trading. I hope that everybody has had a good week last week and been able to profit and possibly even lose a little bit, right? Because even when you lose, you learn. So that's the most important. So hopefully you did a little bit of both and didn't lose too much capital as of last week. So if you are new to the channel, I am Ashley and I am here to try and help you become a better trader while teaching you I'm learning myself. So with that being said, I'm usually the most helpful for those that are day, intraday, and swing. We don't do as much scalping on this channel, but I'm sure that the concept is the same. You can probably use it just on a smaller time frame. So we'll go ahead and get started with AU just to keep the video nice and short on the weekly as always. So I've been watching and kind of trading on AU, I would say pretty much a full amount of last week. I will tell you that I was actually pushed out of a trade last week that had me a little bit salty. Part of the reason why I was a little bit upset is that I don't know if you noticed this button sitting right here, this MID right here, like the mid button, and you can click on it. I don't know if, depending upon, I guess, how many people are using it at Forex.com, I wouldn't doubt it that it's the same kind of concept on TradingView. I don't think that it starts off or auto populates to the mid, auto populates to the mid on TradingView, but on Forex.com it's gonna populate to the mid, which is challenging because, like, let's say I've decided to take a position on the weekly or whatever the case may be, and I'm gonna head down with it or whatever. Let's just say I got in right now, and let's say, I place this is a totally different scenario, so I basically can't use the example that I had planned to, but just watch how price kind of changes when you change from mid to ask. It's not a whole lot of change. However, let's go to a 1 hour real quick. I just want you to see the difference, because the reason why I lost that trade, and I think it happened to two of them, and after it happened the second time, and I'm like, I know that I set my stop loss, I ended up having to call to find out exactly what was going on. So I have it on ask right now, right? Let's just watch and let's see how much price changes when I change it to mid. You see how, like, the last candle that we're on right now, if I had set my stop loss or something like that, I don't know why I would do it in this direction as of right now, but let's say I had set my stop loss, just want to give you an example, like, I don't know, right there. And I'm thinking, okay, we're good. I didn't change it, so I didn't know. And then my stop loss is hitting. I'm like, what is going on? How come? And that's because you have to put it on ask for the closest price to where it's at. I don't even know why this is an option, but I try to set it up as though it's always on ask. So back to the weekly on AU. Let's see what we got coming in for the week. Okay. So as of right now, like I said, last week I did put a few trades in on AUD. Actually like what AUD is doing. I would love to see AUD get all the way down to this point. You know what I'm saying? All the way down to this 62,000 mark. I more than likely will be putting in a position on AUD. And that's because right now I'm just using the weekly as direction. And, because it's a new week. So let's scoot down to the daily. Right now, AUD is showing me basically that even on the daily, we're going up for a retest. And simply looking back here in the past, I don't expect to see any static till about right here. Could it happen right here where it's at? Of course, we could see a little bit of consolidation right here before it actually draws back down. Or it could even go back up. This could be simply somewhat of a fake out. But as of right now, I feel like we could potentially just see price continue to plummet. I don't know if it's going to stop here and continue back up, or stop here and continue back up, or stop here and continue back up. So that's just something that we're going to have to look out for. You know that US has a holiday on Monday, so it may not be as hectic or as much movement as it normally would, but then we also have news coming up, I believe, on Tuesday for AU, and then on Thursday and Friday for US as well. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, but this is something that I'm definitely interested in. I am simply just watching how price had previously reacted in the market and going based on that. This looks good though. I'm seeing a rejection. This is on the daily though, so let's scoot down to the 4. So yeah, same. looking at rather a little bit of rejection on some of this main zone area that I had already previously marked off. It's sometimes easier to leave your zones on so you don't really forget where you're at or where to start from for the next week. I see what appears to be a decent rejection already happening, maybe going up for like a second retest, and then hopefully we'll see it plummet or come back down. I will definitely be looking. This is like a high interest pair for me this coming week. Let's shoot over to EU. So EU, starting out on the weekly, EU looks good. Now, EU is kind of in a space right now where it will basically let us know in between here and here if it is continuing up on the uptrend but it's hard to say, right? Because with price hitting right here on the weekly and then price had already kind of passed here, it makes you wonder, okay, is this a downtrend? Because we're already previously surpassing where we had previously made a higher high at. So usually how the pattern is higher high, higher low, higher high. But see, it's already kind of going past that higher high into maybe that previous higher low. So I'm wondering if we're going to continue down in a downtrend. We'll just have to keep an eye on EU. It's definitely not one of my high interests for the coming week. But we'll just have to see. Like, I'm wondering, are we just going to continue and go back up and maybe see a little bit of consolidation here at this place of like kind of confluence or not confluence, but a little bit of static we were seeing previously. I'm just looking now in the past, kind of where price was previously at and where it's at now, and we're looking at some consolidation. So we'll just have to keep an eye. I don't have a high interest in this one. Again, it's looking a lot like consolidation, or it may reverse. It's not 100% clear to me right now. So we'll just have to keep an eye and see exactly what happens. I think we could potentially see it get down to maybe here, but then again, I think that we could strongly see some consolidation in between that space. So we'll keep an eye. So let's shoot over to GU, see what GU is up to. So on GU, looks like, let's see. So GU isn't as clear either. I think that we are still in an uptrend. We'll just have to wait to see what price is going to do this week in this space. But again, anytime price has kind of previously passed that higher high space and is getting ready to make a lower low, not saying that it can't. I do believe and strongly believe that it's a possibility that that could be happening here. You just kind of have to wait it out and see what's happening. Let's get down to the 1 day and see what that kind of looks like. So on the 1 day, especially with this candlestick here, it looks like we could potentially be still headed in a downward motion. We'll have to see if it heads down and what happens when price gets here and if it's going to continue in that direction. As of right now, I don't have a high interest in GU, but it looks like there could be potential for some pips at least into this space. So again, another situation where you're going to have to keep an eye on. The weekly is not giving me as much. The weekly, I could almost see it being bullish, but on the daily, I could see it being bearish. So we're just going to have to keep an eye out until we can get a clear sign as to which way or which direction price is going to go. As of right now, like I said, I'm not going to mess with GU. My eyes right now are on AU for the most part. But again, if this is one that you're interested in or one that you're kind of looking at, what I would wait for, let me squeeze this out. I will wait for price to get below here, and in this section, give me a few retests, and then go for it. But if you start to see the price gets down here, and is starting to test or retest this zone, then go ahead, put yourself in a sell. Stop loss probably right above here, just so that you're in a safe space, and then wait to see what price does. If you're unsure, always go with a smaller lot size though. Then again, always change. Let's see what that looks like when I change it. You see how that looks a little bit different when I change it? Always change it to ask if you're using Forex.com. Save yourself a little grief. All right, so let's change over to UJ and see what UJ looks like for the week. So UJ right now is headed in a bullish direction. I was actually looking at UJ as a possible interest because it's headed up in such a good space right now. I didn't see that there was too much craziness going on here, so I'm kind of looking at where price is going to be at. If it continues up, we get this breakthrough and then the retest, then I will be looking to long the market until at least about here. I don't know, this one might be too much of a stretch. Always remember too, using your Fibonacci tool, oh my God, using your Fibonacci tool will be super helpful. You can only really use your Fibonacci tool if it is already headed, or it's trending, price is trending. So let's see if we could, I almost want to use it from here, but I kind of see higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, but then it came back down. So let's try to use it from this point. Oh shoot, using totally the wrong tool. This is not the Fibonacci. This is not the Fibonacci. Let's try this. Okay. So like, let's say if we were to use it from there, and it's always more helpful if you use better settings. I know I learned the better settings for the Fibonacci, and for some reason right now, I just, for the life of me, can't remember. And I know that this is negative, and I tried to set it up, but it's not set up. Let me see if I can actually snap that for you real quick. Okay, so using the fib, let's see what it is. We want to set this up on the right. So make sure that there's no background. I don't like background color. And I do not like, I want to see percentage, and I want to see my numbers on the right side. It's a little easier to see. And the coordinates up top, or the style rather, let's go red here, like a dark red. Let's do like a bright green here. The numbers stay the same on the first three. Is it the first three? The first four, sorry. The first four. These are going to be your golden zones. And you're going to want to change this to 0.27. And then change this guy to 0.618. Okay, those are going to be your take profit levels. And then the remaining, you're going to want to get rid of that one. You're going to want to get rid of that one and get rid of that one. Use or leave this one as 0.5. Let's make it red. This one's going to be blue. I'm going to make it a little more blue. And then we're going to keep the number the same. Okay. So everything else looks good. You don't want a background. You want percentages, and then you want your numbers to be on the right. So let's go okay. So now it's a little easier to actually see what is going on. So let's use this. Let's try and zoom down to the 4 hours, see if we can potentially use the fib. I'm gonna get out of it for a second just so that I can get a better idea. Let's do this. Start from here, from there, to where price is at right now, where it currently is, and then so it's pretty fairly close. Like this is what, so you use the gold. This one may be a little too close to gold actually. I may have to fix that because it's looking funky already. I don't know why. Like, why is this down here? It's technically supposed to be up at the top, so let me double check. That's why. There. My mistake. Okay, so now we're doing good. Okay. So this will be your first take profit. Let's see if we can squeeze this up a little bit. This will be your first take profit, which again is pretty fairly close to this 142.000, and then this will be your next take profit. So it actually doesn't look too bad. I could potentially be interested in this one as well. These are going to be, let's see, I want to say your retest zones are going to be, let's see, because I know that the golden zones are the spaces in which you want to take profit, and then these are going to be kind of your retest zones. You don't want it to go past, I'm going to say, the 50%, just so that it's not going to come back and which makes sense, right? Like if you're looking at this and it comes past your 50%, then that means that the trend has got to be over, right? So hopefully that is kind of a good example as to how to use the Fibonacci. I am still for the life of me, I'm still trying to figure out how to use the Fibonacci. Even in my almost 3 years of trading, it's still sometimes I don't always use it because it doesn't always show up, how I need it to. But hopefully this is a good understanding as to how to use your fib. I think if you just kind of keep it simple, these are your zones of gold, which is your take profits. And then these right here are going to be your retest spaces, especially the 50. You don't want it to go past the 50. Otherwise, it's looking like it's going to be a reversal on you. And then the 0 and then the 100% are going to be your starting and ending point. So if the market is headed up in a bullish direction, you go from the bottom to the top of where price is currently at. And then at the bottom, or if you're going the other direction, going in the bearish direction, it's the opposite. You want to start at the top part where price had previously been, and then price where price is currently at. So I hope that this was helpful. It looks like we have a good opportunity this week to collect some pips. I hope that everything that I gave you today is super helpful in terms of you trading for the week. Have a fantastic trading week. Get out to me again. Okay, so I just wanted to double check. I had to make sure that this was done correctly. And it actually, the reason why this isn't exactly matched up is because I went a little too high. So the next place you want to place this from, you're going on a long, it's a long position, right? So you go from the base to the bottom, and you actually want to go to the last higher high. All right, not the higher low, but the last higher high. And then you see that price kind of matches up. So I hope that you can understand this. I hope that this was helpful. I just wanted to clarify. All right, have a good one.